What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. And we are back once again. We are on LNU. We are on the Motor City Cats, and we have a special guest with us today. And we will have another special guest for the first time in Motor City Cats history. We will have not one, but both of the Woodward heavyweights. I am joined right now by Spin Mo Rax, and of course, Easy is on CP time, so he will be late.
He was in the massage chair when I left the studio. He's sitting down the massage. I was like, dude, it's a half-hour drive home. You don't got a lot of time to get a massage there, big dog.
Well, when you're stressed out, you got to get your muscles, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
All that going on. I got a massage chair in my car, so, lower on lumbar, it does all types of different stuff going on. So, get your boy right.
Riley Green just hit a 2-run home run. Tigers up 4-2.
All right. Hey, the Tigers are on a heater, man. I don't really watch baseball, so shout out to you guys. Y'all keep me up to date on my hometown team without me actually having to watch the sport.
Yeah.
So I can sound knowledgeable. And I'm like, yeah, Kenta Maeda, he's no longer on the team. Javi Baez, yeah, he's back. He's back.
I appreciate it, dude. We tried. Thanks for letting us join you, and thanks for helping out Lions Nation Unite as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to both of the channels, Motor City Cats and Lions Nation Unite. Check out Lions Nation Unite on all different social media platforms as well, and hit up the website, lionsnationunite.com, to get some great merch.
Yes, for sure. But before we get into it, I will say if I saw Javi Baez in public, I wouldn't be able to identify him. So
you would feel it. His natural aura would be like too powerful.
Okay.
Like you would feel it would like hit you. Yeah.
Would it be orange like Michael Jordan's aura?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like his is more. I feel like I want to say green and red because those are the colors of his flag. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think when you make green and red together, it's a little bit purple. Or no, that's red and blue. Okay, so it would be what it is. I think maybe brown, but it is what it is. All right. So we are here to talk about the NFL schedule release. A lot of you have probably already heard about some things going on because the NFL allows everything to be spoiled. They don't keep anything under wraps. I got the show on behind me. They got Jim Nantz on there, and he's talking to Rich Eisen, and he's talking to us about things we already know. I already know the entire schedule. So I guess we'll just go game by game, and whenever Easy comes in, we'll get a three-way conversation, pause, okay, about the schedule. So, Spimo Rax, we know the speculation was that we might get the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. We might get the Minnesota Vikings, but week one is kind of a dud. We got the Green Bay Packers, but we are in Lambeau. So that's good. What do you think is going to go down in that game?
I like that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out John Halsey. Sorry, he says go Lions from Texas. Shout out Cody, Mr. Morale, Tactical Sport. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to both Motor City Cats and Lions Nation Unite. But week one against the Packers, I won't say it's enough. It's not as enticing as the Bears or the Vikings. I think both of those would be the better blockbuster matchup, really, but it's still a division opponent. The Bears or the Packers were a good team last year. They were a playoff team as well. I expect them to be around that same level this year. So I'm happy that we got the Lambeau trip week one, so you don't got to worry about the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. It's just going to be the ugly brown stadium of Lambeau Field. So, I think the Lions take care of business. Dan Campbell owns Matt LaFleur. Start off 1-0. Take care of the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, it's not the sexy pick, but I think the NFL has been giving us a little bit of love since we've been better. We aren't going to, I think it was like 20 years in a row or something that we just went to Lambeau Field in December. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to Lambeau Field week 1. There's not going to be a single frosted bladed grass. It's going to be nice weather. I don't know if it's going to rain or whatever, but nice, early fall temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
I look for the Detroit Lions to continue their dominance over the Packers. Matt LaFleur and Matt LaFleur, he's got a little bit of Ryan Day in him.
Oh, for sure. Softness.
All right, Easy's here. I wanted to get into this before I got him in here, but he's in here. So,
Boomer Easy in here.
Yeah, he's in the car. You good? You got your massage? You all good now?
Yeah.
Dinner too. Okay, then. So you was eating and getting massage.
Wait for that.
Okay.
20 minutes is that perfect.
Okay, I feel you. So before you got in here, we just got into the first game of the schedule. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Spinny and I, you know me for sure. You know Spinny because that's your man. Neither one of us is on that Jordan Love hype train.
Nope. FTP,
FTB, FTV, FTJL. F the Jordan Love. Okay. I don't see it from him. And, we talked about it last season and you said, it was the injuries and everything. So we'll see. He got injured week 1 last year against the Eagles in Brazil. So we'll see what happens this year. Go ahead.
So then he got injured again. Pulled his groin.
Yeah. I mean,
he also got injured.
He needs stronger nuts. That's what I'm saying.
he got hit by the "I'm not good at football" train, and that definitely hurt a little bit.
Yeah, and when that hits you between the legs, it's definitely a groin injury. So, I do believe that we're gonna get that dub. I mean, there's nothing that the Green Bay Packers did, in my opinion, and the thing that should happen in this game, which is the thing that it didn't happen last year, is that Jordan Love is going to be facing Marcus Davenport. They're going to pull him out of his bubble wrap that they're going to have him in training camp, and he's going to be ready to go. And he might even get to Caleb Williams this year. Who knows?
He could. I think one of the biggest things that Aiden Hutchinson didn't play the Packers last year,
right?
Like at all. So because of his injury, obviously he was out for both of those Packers games, but obviously that guy provides everything for the Detroit Lions defense. So I think that having him back is also going to be very big, obviously. But I think for him specifically, like we mentioned a little bit that this isn't a game with a lot of juice. Obviously the Bears with Ben Johnson would have juice. The Vikings, just won 14 games. JJ McCarthy, they're annoying fans. That would have some juice as well. The Packers was the juiceless one. But I think Hutch specifically, he wants to go out there and beat the Packers because he didn't get a chance to last year.
Right, 100%. And I think Tyleek will be able to ingratiate himself with the fans of Detroit by going in and helping to get, if he has a decent performance against the Packers, I think that'll help us all feel great about the pick. And again, we're not going to sugarcoat it. The limited time that we're going to see this line together with Tyleek, with Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport, if it looks good in week 1, we'll be very, very happy and joyful. And then by week 3, it'll all be over. But that is where we're going. I think Easy just dropped out. So let's go ahead and get into, do you want to give a score prediction?
Score prediction already?
Yeah.
Week 1 score prediction before training camp. I'm going to go 21-17 Lions.
Okay. I'm around the same boat. I'm going to go 24-17. I I would hope that they would score less, but that defense it's going to be the first game that they have together. Who knows what DJ Reed is going to look like on opposite Terrion Arnold? Who knows if Ennis Rakestraw will be playing or anything of this nature? So I think they're going to have to mesh together. So 24-17 is what I got. 21-17 is what you got. We both got the dub. All right, week 2. Who we got in week 2? We have the what did we call him? Emperor Palpatine, Ben Johnson, and Chicago Bears are coming to town. Where the last coach of the Chicago Bears looked like an absolute buffoon. Now, I don't think that Ben Johnson is going to look like an absolute buffoon, but Osama, in my opinion, is going down. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think you look at welcome to the league, Ben Johnson, whoever they get in week 1, he's already going to be thinking about the Lions. This is everything to him. Then this is just another division game for the Detroit Lions. So, yes, I expect them to take care of business. Home opener versus Chicago. Ford Field is going to be absolutely nuts. This is going to be just an insane environment. So, Lions take care of business pretty easily against the Bears and Ben Johnson in week 2 in his first trip back to Detroit after leaving us, the Judas.
All right. Easy, you want to get in on this one? You there?
Yeah, my bad. I thought I was on the whole time.
Yeah, you dropped out, but we got you back. All right, go ahead. Give us your Packers pick and your Bears pick because we didn't get your Packers pick.
Lions, baby. That's why that one's so anticlimactic. I was kind of disappointed with that game for our very first one, but I've been all the same points Spinny said just before I got off on Aiden Hudson that he wasn't there, and the last time he played him was that Thanksgiving game. So he's got some hunger in him, and he typically owns the Packers when he plays them. But week 2 against the Bears, I almost said a swear word on LNU. I can't do that. We're gonna dog walk them. I'll say that to be nice.
Okay. All right. Anything that you're looking forward to as far as matchups other than Ben Johnson against the Detroit Lions?
What do you say one more time? I apologize.
I said anything that you're looking for as far as matchups other than Ben Johnson versus the Detroit Lions.
I mean, that's the biggest matchup for real, man. Is Ben Johnson versus Dan Campbell. I mean, they know each other in and out. Like Dan Campbell helped Ben with his philosophy. Dan Campbell obviously knows a lot of the way Ben likes to think. It's going to be like the ultimate chess match for real. I probably would say our linebackers versus those pairs of tight ends they got. If Colston Loveland's ready to go by then, I think that should be an interesting one. I ain't worried about those wide receivers. Boom.
Okay. Keenan Allen is
gone.
Did he sign back with them? He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay. And they replaced him with. They got somebody. Who'd they get?
They got
Luther Burden, right?
Luther Burden. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a rookie, so we're really not going to get too much into what he's going to do. I'm looking to see if Marcus Davenport can play week 2 this season because he didn't play week 2 last season. So that is always going to be. We're going to start the Marcus Davenport watch. Motor City Cats. We will have the Marcus Davenport watch. See if we're going to find him in the lineup every game this season. So what are your score predictions for this one?
Score predictions.
Yeah, we're doing score predictions, man. I mean, the spice is gone. The NFL has allowed this entire schedule to be leaked. I got this show on. They just told me that the Vikings are playing the Lions on Christmas Day, and we all knew that. So we got to give the spice. What's your score prediction? Way too early score prediction.
Lions 100, Bears 0.
Okay. All right. I can rock with that. Fun fact. Back in the day when Madden Online was first a thing, I beat a kid 99-0 and he quit. I was playing with the Lions. So
bro, I would have quit by freaking 40. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have let it get to 90 for sure. That kid was probably crying.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
Bro, I don't know. I was mad he quit because I was like, I'm trying to go for 100.
That's fair.
You know. All right.
The Chargers got the best social media team.
Do they?
Yeah, the Chargers social media team is insane.
I didn't watch the schedule release, but even the announcement they did was kind of sick.
I think that was it the Falcons that did the Mario Kart?
This year or last year?
No, this year. They were just showing it on the show, but I didn't see who. I thought it was the Falcons because they look pretty prominent.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Detroit must have a minimal budget on this stuff because, like, we've claimed weak too many times now. Like,
I don't really care, honestly. I don't need this elaborate schedule reveal video.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, last year nobody liked it. You had the
it's Tim
what's that
Robinson
show?
and
the Detroiters.
Yeah, the Detroiters. Nobody really liked it. So
it just wasn't that funny, really, at all.
Yeah. I think did y'all see the inside the den reveal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was
that
good.
one goes hard. You gotta watch that one Spinny.
You know what they should do? They should take Dan Campbell an extra, and then have him give a memory for each team that he's played. You know what I'm saying? Like a little memory from either playing or coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather do that. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. I love Dan Campbell that much, though.
Yeah, we love Dan Campbell, Detroit. All right, let's move on to week number 3. Who we got week 3, and what's going to go down?
Baltimore
Spinny,
Ravens.
you can take this one.
Who is it? Week
Easy
3. I don't
take
have the schedule in front of me.
All right, week 3, Baltimore Ravens. Go ahead, Easy, take it away.
It's the Baltimore Ravens. We're going on the road. We're going out there to Baltimore to face Lamar Jackson, who, like, I'm not 100% of these numbers, but I'm pretty sure he only has like one career loss against the NFC. I would do the homework on that. 2 of them. That's
and yeah, one of them came last year to the Eagles.
And this one's Monday Night Football as well. Gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I said on the show, I'm gonna stay consistent with it. And I hate even having to say this out loud, but I think we're looking at the first loss of the season in that game. I'm not gonna hold you up.
I got him winning this game. I got him winning this game in Baltimore against the Ravens. I think when you look at the NFL, every year there's games that look like losses on the schedule that are wins, and vice versa. There are games that look like wins on the schedule that are losses. I think the Detroit Lions are one of the few teams in the NFL that can match up roster for roster with Baltimore. I think it's good that it happened earlier in the season, so we have our full array of players. And I expect that Dan Campbell's going to have these guys ready to go, unlike their last trip to Baltimore. I think that sits in their mind a lot. I know how these guys work, how this team runs, and I think that is going to be a big point of contention for the Detroit Lions all week, is what happened to them the last time they went to Baltimore. So I think they're going to go in there on prime time, and they're going to take care of the Ravens. Not an easy one. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out or anything like that, but give me the Lions to beat the Ravens in Baltimore week 3 to go 3-0.
I hope you're right.
All right. I am also going to stay consistent. I'm terrified of Lamar Jackson, but also I have been saying our pass rush is not going to help us get to people like Lamar Jackson if Marcus Davenport is not available and we got to have Josh Pascal out there or Levi Onwuzurike. But with it being a week 3, there is a possibility, okay? Don't get your hopes up. But there is a possibility that we will see Marcus Davenport on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson, helping to corral Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm kind of on the fence because I've been begging for the pass rush to stop these types of quarterbacks, but it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
We haven't beat him.
See,
we needed a Justin Tugger, old Rubbin Tugger, a 66-yard field goal to win in Detroit or to lose in Detroit. But we got dog walked in Baltimore last season. So I'm going to go scared. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to beat the Detroit Lions in Baltimore, but I do believe it will be a lot closer. I think we lose by one score.
I think the Lions win 24-21, and whoever the Ravens have misses the game-tying field goal because Justin Tucker isn't there anymore. Can't rely on that. Fractured locker room, some may say. Per sources, Baltimore is in shambles in their locker room since they've lost Justin Tucker. That is something that I've heard from sources. So, I think that's going to be a big reason why the Ravens fall to the Lions.
Maybe the rub and tug was rubbing off on some of his teammates, and maybe
not in a good way.
Maybe that's why they're fractured.
That was crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
I don't mean he was rubbing and tugging.
Yeah.
I just mean, his regimen. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, but all seriousness, I do think. Oh no, sorry.
We'll be more competitive in this one for sure. But
yeah.
The only thing is, man, if you go back and watch that game on offense, we definitely just weren't there, which is annoying. But on defense, I can't say we didn't get pressure. Lamar is just Lamar, and he was just clowning us when we did.
He was running around. He's making people miss.
Yeah, throwing across his chest like.
He literally had 10 seconds to throw every time he dropped back.
It's definitely any given Sunday in any football scenario. Like we know that, but like with him especially, bro, you can't say anything for certain. To be honest with you, like.
And Derrick Henry just got a new deal.
Yeah, he got paid.
So we know Derrick Henry is he is that dude. They call him King Henry for a reason. He's not gonna experience any drop off. He's too much of a veteran. He's too much of a consummate professional. So he got that new deal, but he's still gonna be hungry out there. He's on the other side of 30, so he still has something to prove every time he runs out there. So this might be the last time we see Marcus Davenport, because if Marcus Davenport got to go up against Derrick Henry enough times, I'm just saying, a groin, something. Man, I'm just saying.
I'll be talking reckless like that if I lived in Australia. Marcus Davenport about to come find you, bro.
I love Marcus Davenport, man.
No, you don't.
He's Mr. Glass. I love him as a player, but his health, I've just never been a proponent of it. He's Mr. Glass, literally. We thought Emmanuel Mosley was Mr. Glass. It's Marcus Davenport.
They're pretty much the same. I mean, Davenport, God.
I would say it was Marcus Davenport because Marcus Davenport has a longer history of missing a bunch of games. With Emmanuel Mosley, it was just that one season-ending injury, and then it just
3 of them.
Yeah. You just back to back from there.
All
but
right,
Marcus Davenport, long history.
What's the next game on the schedule? After
Easy's got the schedule, yeah.
Well, all right. Give me 1 minute. I don't know how that schedule. Give me 1 second. Next game for the Detroit Lions, we are going back home, and we'll be facing the Browns, which is maybe a little get back game after going on the road against the Ravens.
Yeah. Dub.
Who is even Joe Flacco?
Maybe Joe Flacco, maybe
Shador.
One of the rookies. Yeah, Shador, maybe Dylan Gabriel. Like the Ravens is easy claps. You're gonna at home, like you said, after that Baltimore game, it's gonna be a tough road trip. You're gonna have to recover because, like you said, Derrick Henry, you're gonna take a beating in that one. So you're going to need to rest up, and you can't overlook anybody in this league. Obviously, they've got a pretty damn good defensive line over there in Cleveland, so it's not somebody you could take lightly, but this is a game the Lions should win. They should win pretty easily.
Yeah, I think as long as we can contain Myles Garrett and run away from him and scheme him out of the game, I think it should be an easy dub. I'm not as low on Shador as a lot of people are. I think his slide had really nothing to do with football. I think it was all, interpersonal relationships and things that, people don't like his father and stuff like that. But I think the kid can play. And I think he's the best option that they have out of anyone that they drafted. Joe Flacco he's a vet. He's seasoned. He has a Super Bowl. Can Shador beat him out? I'm not sure. But I think that Joe Flacco is the only one that he is competing with. But as far as winning the game as a rookie on the road in a hostile environment in Ford Field, it's going to be loud. If our fans get up for that game, because it is the Browns.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be too much to overcome. So I do have the Lions winning by 2 scores, 28-14, comfortably. Easy. What say you? You got a prediction?
Lions over Browns for sure. I don't like to be disrespectful of LTs, but let's be real. There's just not really, I can't really say that one shaking out, especially that early in the season. Especially coming off a Baltimore game that's going to be super competitive for us. Wake up some of our competitive juices. Give me the Lions for sure in that one.
All right. Now, before we move on to the next game, I do have a scenario in which we do lose to the Browns.
What, everybody dies? Stadium blows up?
No. We beat the Ravens, and we get up so high for the Ravens game that we get caught by the trap and lose to the Browns. That's the only scenario in which I believe we could lose to the Browns.
I don't know. I think this team has too many veterans to allow something like that to happen again like it did in Carolina, especially at home. I think even if you beat the Ravens, which I predicted them to, I think you dog walk the Browns.
Okay. But remember, we couldn't get up against the Bills, who punched us in the mouth.
Well,
and that was a great team.
The Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. But we couldn't match their energy. So I'm just saying it's a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
You just compared the Browns to the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills are one of the best teams in the league. The Browns are
what are we doing here?
I didn't compare them. Because it's the veteran argument, right? We got too many veterans to have the letdown, but we couldn't come out against a team that was really, really
losing to the Bills
good.
Isn't a letdown. The Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL.
It's not it wasn't a letdown that we lost to them. I'm saying our energy. We got punched in the mouth from jump. Like we couldn't match their energy.
That was a pretty close game until Josh Allen kind of took over.
Okay.
I don't really know that was a really close game. To be honest, they were whooping our ass.
That was. I think when we were down 14-0 after the first 2 possessions.
But I don't think it was a punch in the mouth, come out with no energy type of thing. Like, they're a good team. Like, sometimes, especially with the amount of injuries we had, you got to take your hat off and be like, yeah, I mean,
they're good. I didn't think we matched their energy. I thought we just came out a little bit slow and lethargic. That's what from my 30,000 foot view of the game. That's what I was looking at. We didn't look. But what I will say is this.
You sure sound 30,000 feet up. That's high as hell. Talking about the Browns, the Bills. I mean, what the hell? What the heck?
See, that's not. It wasn't a comparison. It was just the answer to the veteran situation. But what I will say is that
they're rubbing them off.
What I will say is that game was more important to the Bills. I think they tricked away the game against the Rams the week before because they were looking ahead to us. They wanted to show everybody that we didn't deserve to be where we were. They kind of wanted to knock us off our perch a bit. So I think it was more important to them, and they came out with a little bit more juice, just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely came out more aggressive and beat us in that. Well, that's not the Browns. I'm not worried about that happening against the Browns. And this Lions team is so talented that they could come out a little flat against the Browns and still win comfortably. Like I'm not worried about that. They're going to be waiting for Cleveland to come to their house. Cleveland's going to have to match our intensity. They're not losing.
Okay. All right. I still have them winning 28-14. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't believe we're losing to the Browns.
But do it with a team believable. Damn.
I'm saying emotional letdowns. They happen, bro. They happen. It's part of sports. A lot of times you'll lose to a team and you be like, how the hell did we lose to that team? You know what I mean? Like the Commanders. Anyway,
Well, we lost the Commanders because Jared Goff threw 4 interceptions and our entire defense was hurt.
You can't say that. You're not allowed to say these things. Jared Goff is a saint. He's a savant. Jared Goff, I saw Jared Goff take 5 homeless orphans and put them up in his house for the week. You know, Jared Goff is immaculate. You're not allowed to say nothing about Jared Goff.
I saw him pick him up in the snow. He carried him under his back.
Yeah,
exactly.
One at a time through a burning building. It was impressive.
Exactly.
It was crazy.
And there was one that was really, really small child. So he put him on the pregnant stomach of his wife to brace him. And then he held both of them underneath, right? So not to put any pressure on top of her stomach. You know what I mean? He's just that type of guy. So we can't say anything about Jared Goff. Okay. Any other quarterback, though, I will say this. If any other quarterback turned the ball over 4 times in a playoff game, you expect to lose that game, but not Jared Goff.
That's
it
fair.
was the defense and it was the injuries. Okay. All right.
All right. Who's after the Browns?
We all got W. We all got the Lions.
We all got W's. Yeah. Who's the next game?
We got on the road in Cincinnati against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. This is one. I think it gave us a W. The Bengals start slow. We're kind of just always on, and it's definitely a challenge. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really worried about the Bengals at this point. I think they're kind of a mess.
Okay. Can we stop Jamar Chase from beating us? That's my question. I'm not worried about anybody on the Bengals except for Jamar Chase. I've seen Jamar Chase put up damn near 300 yards by running past defenses.
And still losing. Jamar Chase had a phenomenal year last year. They missed the playoffs. I ain't worried about no Jamar Chase.
They did.
Johnson break the all-time receiving record, and we lost under 500. I ain't tripping on no Jamar Chase.
That's my only thing. So if we can stop Jamar Chase from beating us, I think we beat the Bengals. I don't know if it's going to be comfortably. I think it'll be a good game. But I will take the dub on the Bengals.
Yeah. I think I'm going to flip-flop from what I did on my initial reaction and do the loss to the Ravens and the win against the Bengals, because I tried to convince myself to be like, it's never the one you think it is, right? It's never going to be the loss like that. Oh, everybody's saying that's a loss. They're not going to lose that. But like Easy said, you have Jamar Chase, and he's a fantastic player. I think he's the best receiver in football. You have T. Higgins, also a fantastic player, probably the best number 2 receiver in football. Joe Burrow, top 4 quarterback, all that stuff. They have absolutely no defense. They're not going to be able to, especially with Trey Hendrickson. He's not playing there this year. So as good as I think Shamar Stewart will eventually be, I don't think he's going to be the NFL sack leader. So I don't think he'll be able to replace the production that Trey Hendrickson brought. And like Easy made the point, we saw Calvin do it for years. He goes out there, Jamar Chase puts 150 yards on you. Doesn't matter. The Bengals lose 30-14 because they have no defense and they can't run the ball. So I could see something like that happening where Jamar Chase has 8 catches for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Lions win by 3 scores. But I don't think it'll be that big of a difference. I don't know if it'll be 3 scores, but I got the Lions winning this one. It's a bad matchup for the Bengals to have a team that is so good at stopping the run defensively that where you can't even pretend like you're going to run the ball. You're just going to have to sit back and throw it. And they've got 2 of the 3 best safeties in the NFL sitting back there waiting to make plays on the ball. So give me the Lions taking care of the Bengals.
All right. Shout out Spirit of Detroit in the chat. Shout out DJ. DJ agrees with you. He says that they have no defense. So a quick tally of what we got right now. We got, I think everybody has us beating the Packers. Everybody has us beating the Bears. I think we all got us losing to the Ravens now.
Yep.
Okay. We all got us beating the Browns.
Oh, God,
have us beating the Bengals.
Sorry.
What happened?
They just robbed Kerry Carpenter for a home run.
Wow.
The guy jumped up on the wall to catch it. It popped out of his glove, and the other outfielder caught it. Oh,
wow. That's crazy. One
It's
thing
still
you
fun.
can say about baseball is that robberies generally do happen with the players. In
Oh,
football, robberies happen with the referees.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So we got those 5 games. I think we're all 4-1. What
Yeah,
is
I
the
will
next
say this.
game? Huh?
That Bengals game, you know how you were talking about emotional letdown?
Yeah.
That game. Coming off an ass whooping, if you so happen to beat the Ravens as well, you're going to beat the
Mhm.
hell out of the Browns. That could be one of those games you get caught up feeling yourself maybe a little bit on the road too. But I'm not really
That
worried.
was my original thought process on heavyweights when
Mm.
I had them beating the Ravens and then losing to the Bengals was like the spot in the schedule. We played the biggest factor in it, but just going off of how the teams are built and how I think they're going to perform, I can't say that.
Okay.
In my heart,
then-
I'd say they beat the Ravens and they lose to the Bengals, but in my head, it's the other way around.
That's the first time we got Joe Burrow versus Jared Goff too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And
Yep.
we know Jared Goff owns.
Crazy the other day.
We know Jared Goff owns our next opponent. Never lost. Sunday night football going into Kansas City. This is kind of a brutal stretch. I mean, we got the Ravens, then we skip over the Browns, and we got the Bengals, then we got the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think this stretch is going to set us up for most of the season. If we come out of this stretch with 1 loss, I think we're really, really good. If we do falter and lose a couple of these, we might be playing a little bit of catch up for the rest of the season, but we'll see. So who wants to take this one first? The Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, Sunday Night Football, Week 6.
I got the Chiefs in this one. I think, I know the Goff has never lost to Patrick Mahomes crowd is going to be out in full force, and it could easily happen. I think on paper the Lions are a better team compiled right now than the Kansas City Chiefs, but they got Andy Reid, they got Patrick Mahomes, they got Arrowhead, and you're going on the road into a hostile environment with a team that has championship pedigree. And like, these guys don't have Patrick Mahomes already at this point in his career doesn't have much to prove. He's already won MVPs. He's already won Super Bowls. He's done pretty much anything that a you can ask for a quarterback this early in his career, but he hasn't beaten Jared Goff. And that is something that crazy psychos like Patrick Mahomes and Jordan and that level of athlete, that's something that those guys have in their minds. So I think personally for him, it could be a motivator, but also it's just a tough task to ask them to go into Arrowhead and beat Kansas City 2 trips in a row. So give me the Chiefs winning this one, but I think the Lions put up a good fight.
All right, easy.
Yeah, I kind of echo everything Spinny kind of said about it. I mean, I go back to kind of what we talked about earlier on the heavyweights, is that a lot to do with winning games is the continuity around your team, around your play calls, around your coaching. Like your principles stay the same, your methods for the most part are the same, and you just fine tune it throughout the years. And we're able to keep the same coaching staff together, the majority of the same team. We're going up against that right now. And for an example of like how great that could be for you, because last year the Chiefs only losing actually they lost the second game, but they didn't start Patrick Mahomes, if I'm not mistaken. And then what we did too at 15-2. Like that's what Tom Brady talks about, the cohesiveness with his team, Josh McDaniels in the offensive line. Like the Chiefs got that going tenfold. We're coming in with new coordinators. Although Shepard was there. That was 23 that we beat them. So no, Johnny Morton wasn't there. They just got the upper hand in this one, and it's on the road in a tough environment. Spagnuolo, Andy Reid, I'm probably expecting that out here, but obviously we're good enough to compete.
All right, so I don't want to sound like a total slappy here, okay, but I'm gonna go in a different direction. It depends on what kind of season the Chiefs are having. If the Chiefs are having the type of season that they had last year, yes, they did also go 15-2. They did wind up going to the Super Bowl, but they did not look good in the regular season. Everything was hard. Everything was nip and tuck. So many close games. They were just able to pull them out. the Detroit Lions are also fairly decent in close games, right? So if it is one of those, I know you got the home field advantage, and the home field advantage does bode well for the home team, but we did pull it out in a close game last time we went to Arrowhead. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. We know how to win in close games. We know how to win close games in Arrowhead. There might be a bit of a Super Bowl hangover because they did get mollywopped. I mean, they got embarrassed. That they were part of the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen. I don't even think the San Francisco 49ers and the San Diego Chargers, where Deion played and they beat them 52-17. I don't think that Super Bowl was as horrible to watch as this last one. So I'm going to say, give me the Lions in another close game. 24-21, Detroit Lions walk out of Arrowhead with the win.
Yeah, I obviously hope you're right. I would say the hangover thing pertains more to people that win, not guys that get their ass beat and are pissed off about it all summer.
The Super Bowl loser generally does very poorly the next year, per stats.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the Chiefs win the Super Bowl the year after they lost it too? Though, like this is a different cat when you look at who you're dealing with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They don't follow the rules that are applied to mortals. So, and it's week 5. They're gonna have plenty of time to shake off any kind of rust or hangover that they had. So, like I say, it's not like this is an insurmountable task. Like they've beaten the Chiefs in Arrowhead before. They can definitely do it again, but I got this one as an L.
Okay. All right. So I got them at 5-1. Y'all got them at 4-2. Is the bye week next, or do we have another game?
I think there's one more before the bye.
All right. So our bye is now week 8. So 3 weeks out from where it was before.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me take this one because I've been waiting. I've been waiting for Jahmyr Gibbs to have his Javid best moment. We know what Gibbs did to Antoine Winfield Jr. last time, how he was like, get off of me as he went into the end zone. I'm looking for Jahmyr Gibbs to blow the roof off of Ford Field, 80 yards to the house, just like Javid Best. Cementing himself. I'm like, he is already my second favorite running back in Lions history. However, I just need him to have that moment. So I'm looking for him to have that moment on Monday Night Football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Lions. Let's go 30-17. I'm going to go with this one.
Hey, I love it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Javid Best isn't the first name that pops to my mind when I need a big moment out of Jahmyr Gibbs, but I think he's going to have a big game in this one too. I think they're going to use Gibbs a lot because they want to get some of that zone running game in against Tampa Bay and try to avoid Vita Vea. Obviously, he's a monster in the middle of that defense, so to run outside of the tackle box would probably benefit you the most. Give me the Lions in this one. This is another revenge game. This is a matchup they want to get their lick back in. I think they take care of business and knock down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Hutch wants to get 5 sacks in a dub this time.
Yeah, facts.
Easy, what you got?
I gotta imagine, although he is second savior next to Christ, Jared Goff was pretty embarrassed by his performance last time out against the Buccaneers.
That's a good point.
Be locked in that week to carve up that defense because you can't let that happen twice.
All right. So what's your prediction for the score?
Lions 100, Buccaneers 0.
I wish every score was like that. That would be awesome. All right. So the next week we do have the bye week. We get to rest up.
W.
W.
I got them winning the bye week.
Oh yeah, for sure. Big dubs in the just
must win. Some may say must win.
Just make sure you don't get in any trouble.
Yeah.
Right. This is the week where my guy Big Wolf Status is looking for JMO to get suspended.
Is that Halloween weekend? They got a bye week on Halloween weekend. Ooh.
Yeah, so just don't get into trouble.
Weekend
You know,
before.
some people,
Crazy
when you say good things about J-Mo, they don't want to hear it. They're like, just wait till the next suspension.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So as long as nobody gets in any trouble, I think the bye week is a big dub. All right, who we got after the bye week?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota.
Go off.
All right. I just on NFL Network, they had these I'm guessing it was players talking about moments that they remembered from last season and moments they were proud of. And they had Byron Murphy and his punk ass. And the highlight that they showed was when he hit I think it was J-Mo in the backfield on a smoke screen, which I hate smoke screens. Johnny Mo, please don't do those. They don't work. Please don't do them. You got to block them perfectly. Just stop. So yeah, give me the Detroit Lions. I think, is this a Thanksgiving game?
No.
So we don't have them on Thanksgiving.
Oh wait, is this Thanksgiving? No. No, we do not have them on Thanksgiving.
I think do we have the Packers on Thanksgiving?
We have
Yes.
the Packers on Thanksgiving.
Okay. But we're gonna be at home anyway. The Minnesota Vikings, I don't look for them to have the same type of season. They're going to want to come in and play spoiler. I just need Byron Murphy to give us some bulletin board material. I need him to start talking again about how the Detroit Lions aren't worthy of whatever, and we need to go smack them in the mouth. I'm going to go 34-17. We own the Vikings. And Dan Campbell owns Kevin O'Connell. So 34-17 Detroit Lions at home.
Yeah, I agree. Dan Campbell is a dog. He owns rent in Kevin O'Connell's head that he doesn't pay for. The guy is just absolutely outclassing it. And I respect Kevin O'Connell a lot. I think he is one of the best head coaches in the NFL. I think he deserved that head coach of the year last year. And I think he does a lot with very little when you look at the quarterback play, but he is going to get his booty whipped on this game. Coming out of the bye week, you got an extra week to plan for the Minnesota Vikings. Staying at home, skull your way back to Minnesota because they're winning this one. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Our guy Kurt Steele in there said, "What up, though?" Shout out to him. Super Saiyan Lions says the Lions are going to win 13 to 14 games this season. Stamp it. And I mean, I had him at 14. It felt gross, but I'm going to do it. They're beating the Vikings. They're beating the Vikings. We haven't lost the Vikings in 3 years. They're beating the Vikings at home. Come on.
Well, I'm going to chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to chill. I'm going to wait until the game approaches us. But, I might be willing to put a tattoo bet on this. There ain't no way in hell about to let J.J. McCarthy come in here after a bye week.
Off a bye, yeah.
And do anything. I mean, he might, you know what I'm saying, stats, whatever. You got Justin Jefferson, you got a great receiving core, and honestly a great coach too. But, it's crazy how phenomenal Kevin O'Connell is as coach against everybody, the best of the best. But when it comes to Dan Campbell, it's just big brother syndrome. He just gets bullied. The game they had against us, week 18, what? How? You got absolutely dog walked by Meek Robinson and the boys. That was crazy. Lions all day in this one. I can't even talk myself into a Vikings W. But again, I'm gonna wait till the week gets here. If everyone's healthy, I might even put a tattoo bet with some type of Vikings beat report if he's about it, to be honest with you.
One bar.
Before we move on from this game, I have 3 things. Number one, Dan Campbell has the effect that he has over the NFC North coaches, and it remains to be seen. Obviously, Ben Johnson learned under him. He taught him everything he knew, right? He has the effect. Remember when Ryan Day thought he was going to go out there and beat Michigan at being physical last season? Yeah, that's the effect. When he gets you trying to play his game, like Kevin O'Connell really thought he was Dan Campbell going forward on all those fourth downs. And he don't even do that. Right? So when he has that kind of mind control, this is like, I got mind control over Debo. He'd be like, shut up. I'll be quiet. When he leave, I'll be talking again. This is Dan Campbell over the coaches in the NFC North. Thing number 2, that chick, and I got to get her name. The chick that was talking about all the Detroit Lions male fans were assaulting her at the game in Detroit. We need to bring her back out to prominence and make sure she doesn't come in Ford Field. All right? Because that was a bunch of BS. The Detroit Lions fans have never seen a woman before, and they treated her like a piece of garbage and all this other stuff. So we need to get her name, get her back out there, and make sure everyone is on the lookout so she can't come into Ford Field. And the third thing that I have, y'all know I'm a Michigan fan. I didn't JJ McCarthy. I don't know. Right? I don't know. So
nobody does. He hasn't played yet. Nobody really knows what he's going to be.
But even when he was in college, I was just like, is he that guy?
Yeah.
So, Jim Harbaugh didn't really let him do a whole lot as far as throwing the football. And he's not great at throwing out routes. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not afraid of JJ McCarthy. He is a rookie. I do not trust him. The Detroit Lions, I think, will walk away with this one pretty handedly.
Next game on the schedule. Talk about getting your lick back. Going to Washington to play the Commanders. Obviously, the Commanders took care of the Lions in their first playoff game this season. The Lions' first playoff game, that is. I got the Lions winning this one, getting their lick back. I don't think it's going to be pretty either. I think Dan Campbell wants this. I think the players want this. I have Terrion Arnold getting an interception off of Jaden Daniels in this game to kind of right that wrong of being little broed by a guy younger than you. So, give me the Lions winning this one. It's personal. It means more. They want to get their lick back after being embarrassed at home. I think, again, Jared Goff, a very mild-mannered guy, a very calm dude, California cool, as people like to say. This one's going to mean something to him. Everybody likes to right their wrongs, and I know that unlike if you ask other people in this town, if you ask Jared Goff, he blames himself for that playoff loss. So I think he's going to want to go out there and put on a good performance against Washington. I think he does. I think the Lions win this one pretty handedly.
Jared Goff is always right, except when he's giving himself any part of the blame.
Unless he criticizes himself.
You can't criticize yourself, Jared. It's not allowed in Detroit. I just want to see what's going to happen to the Washington Commanders when we don't spot them 5 possessions.
Facts.
When I was watching the game and I said, we're about to go down 14. We're going to go down and go up 14-3. And the game is going to be over. Well, we had different plans with these turnovers, but then you saw the next week, the Philadelphia Eagles went down. They went up 14-3, and that was it. The floodgates were open. So I know the Commanders did get marginally better. I mean, I'm not afraid of Deebo Samuel. I don't think the Commanders win this game. I think we do what we need to do. I think we proved to everyone that turnovers matter. And that's all I got.
I agree.
No, they don't. It was Ben Johnson's fault.
He threw the game.
There was no pass rush. I hate to admit it, but I think it'll be a closer game than most are expecting, only because this will be Jane Daniels' second year in the league. I'd assume he's had his feet under him, although sophomore slumps are a thing.
Sophomore slump.
And then CJ Stroud. Shout out.
The issue I have is freaking Larry Tunsil, Deebo Samuel. They had a pretty good offseason. I wish if we were the same team as last year, I'd be with Spenny. We're mopping the floor. But they did get marginally better, so I got to give them that due respect. But, yeah, Jared better lock in for this one. This is a legacy game for me. So I mean, I'll be on his ass if he does it again. What are we doing?
Legacy
so my question to you is this.
Goff. I think he'll do it. I think he's going to take care of business. I think he wants it. We haven't seen him really like. I mean, we saw against the Rams. I guess that was pretty personal for him, you know, and he took care of business there. Outside of that, I was going to say there's never been. Sorry, Tigers. There's never been a grudge that he's made like with the Lions that he's had to repay his debt on yet. I think this is one of them. So I think he's going to step up, take care of business.
My question to you is this. What does Laramie Tunsil bring to the table that was different than last year? We couldn't get to Jaden Daniels anyway, and we still would have won that game comfortably. So I don't think the presence of Laramie Tunsil protecting Jaden Daniels does really anything different than how we played them last season.
Which is a bad thing.
Why? We were about to dog walk them without being able to get to the quarterback. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a dog walk. Obviously, we didn't end up dog walking them, did we?
Because somebody turned the ball over. I don't know who it was. Right? One of the fans came down and was playing quarterback, apparently. Okay, it was somebody turned the ball over 5 times. Can't win those games. Now, I'm going to tell you the craziest thing before we move on. I had a commenter. He commented on one of my videos when we were talking about that game. And basically, he talked about the Texans game as evidence that the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain when we turned the ball over 5 times against the Commanders.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Who said that?
I don't remember. It was one of the commenters. He commented on
actually, I do know someone who did say that. And they're a content creator. I'm gonna call him out. Will Rock, grow up. Grow up.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Junk out your mouth.
Next question.
Next.
I'll talk to you about it off air.
Next game on the Lions schedule. They're staying on the road, staying in the NFC East. They're going to Philadelphia to play the defending Super Bowl champions on Sunday Night Football in the city of brotherly love. I got the Lions losing this one. It's a tough matchup. Back-to-back road games, back-to-back playoff. The 2 teams that were in the NFC Championship game last year. 2 tough matchups in a row. Eagles are a good team. I got the Eagles winning.
I do want to offer a little bit of hope in this one, seemingly based off of what we saw happen to the Eagles when they lost the last offensive coordinator that was doing well for them. They kind of fell to shambles, Jalen Hurts included. That's why I don't really consider him an elite quarterback. Everyone's trying to pump him up into that category. Nah, the coaching matters for that guy for damn sure. And they just lost a damn good offensive coordinator in my man Kyle, or what the hell was his name?
Drawing a blank here. Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, thank you. They lost a damn good one in Kellen Moore, and I think we saw last year or 2 years ago. They're pretty. They had trouble finding the footing, so I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know. I think we got to see their offense to give them the same type of boogeyman we gave them in that postseason. But the defense is gonna be on point. It's gonna be a struggle bus, but I'll go loss to be realistic. How about that? I don't want to have end up with 14 wins here. I don't think it's gonna be that kind of year for us.
I'm going loss. I don't know who's going to be on the other side of Hutch by week 11. The same reason I was afraid of Lamar Jackson. I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't Lamar Jackson, but it's a similar dynamic with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley as it is with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So I'm as much as it pains me to say, I got people in Philly that would love to hear me say this, and I never want to give them anything, but I got to say it. I don't think the Lions are going to go into Philly week 11, Sunday Night Football, and win the game. I don't think we're going to get blown out, but I think it just might be too much.
I agree, and I don't think that's ridiculous to say. They're the Super Bowl champions for a reason. It's a hostile environment in Philadelphia. Next game, I think we could all say that Giants at home I think we all say the Lions comfortably win that one. The Giants aren't a team that should be on the Lions radar next year. Still got to take care of business. They got good defensive line pieces, but the Lions should easily win that one. And then
if you want to talk about a sleeper team in the whole schedule, not the Browns, the Giants. That defensive line is ridiculous.
And Russ might be cooking. And your man Jackson Dart, you got that highlight with him spinning the ball and just launching that joint downfield. I mean,
Jackson Dart's nice. He's not going to be nice enough for the Lions to lose a home game to the Giants.
He got some aura now. Come on.
My biggest fear, he definitely got aura. My biggest fear is Dexter Lawrence, Darius Alexander, freaking Abdul Carter, and Brian, what the hell his name is?
Burns.
Brian Burns. And you forgot
then you got Kayvon rotating. Yeah, we all know, our Lord and Savior Jared Goff he has some weaknesses and it's pressure. When you get the pressure on him, things get crazy. That ball gets to going any and everywhere.
I think the Lions can win this game without the offense scoring a single point because the defense is going to make whoever the quarterback is for the New York Giants life complete hell. Nice play. Yes.
I was just about to ask you what's up with that game real quick. The Tigers.
Tigers just got out of the ninth, 5-5. Will Vest got out of a jam.
Nice.
Coming up, bottom of the ninth, tie game at 5.
When did Scooble go out?
Scooble gave up. I think he ended up with like 5 earned runs.
Damn.
But he had a ton of strikeouts. He came out with a couple men on, and Holton gave up a couple hits, and they scored.
So the Tigers could walk this one off, in essence.
They could. Again, yeah, bottom of the ninth coming up. Chapman's coming in, though, so we'll see. But hopefully guy throws 102. If you could put a barrel on it, it's going a long way. So hopefully they can get that out. But next game on the Lions schedule, you've got...
I didn't get my prediction.
Oh.
I don't think the Giants win. I think the Lions win. Now, comfortably, I don't know because that defensive line is going to be putting a lot of pressure on them. But if Tate Ratledge is that dude, I think we can stonewall him. But I do think that the Lions win the game. The last time Russ came to town, he got cooked. He was not cooking. He got cooked.
Got him fired.
Yeah.
We beat him so bad they fired him.
Exactly. Exactly. So he might be looking for some get back, but I don't think it's gonna be anything. So Detroit Lions win that game.
Is that week 12, week 13, Spinny?
I think it's week 12.
Week 12, McNeil, co-owner of the New York Giants. Lock it.
Oh yeah, he'll be back by then. For sure. He'll be back. He'll be 100% by then.
And he has his twin to rotate with too. Come on now.
Yeah, they're gonna dog walk the Giants, and it's at home, and they're probably coming off a loss to the Eagles. Easy claps. All right, next up, this one, Thanksgiving, Green Bay Packers in town. Again, I know it's crazy to have this many revenge games or scores to settle with a team that won 15 games last year, but Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving. I think the Lions and Dan Campbell want to right that wrong. They want Detroit to have a happy holiday. They take care of business. Matt LaFleur is weak-minded and soft. The team is weak-minded and soft. They're probably going to be fighting each other by that point because Josh Jacobs doesn't think they have a number 1 wide receiver. Give me the Lions beating the Packers on Thanksgiving.
Did y'all see what's his name? Dontavian Wicks is a Steeler.
What?
He's a Steeler, isn't he?
Did they trade him?
I think they traded him to the Steelers.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So they already didn't have a number 1 receiver, and one of their non-number 1 receivers, they traded him away.
It says he's still on the. It says he's still on the.
Chef, you're grounded.
It was Twitter. It was on his Twitter account.
You got bamboozled.
It was on his Twitter account.
Oh, you're looking at Rontavian Hicks.
Yeah,
is it Rontavian Hicks?
I've seen people say they should trade for Dontavian Wicks.
Wait a minute.
No, he hasn't moved yet. He's still on the Packers.
Yeah, Rontavian Hicks. Yeah, that guy.
Who the hell is that guy?
I made them up, just like you made that up. I was trying to bail you out.
I swear I saw his joint on Twitter. Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, I heard they just hired Brett Favre. I'm just kidding.
I know he was interacting with somebody's Twitter account and said something about him being moved to the Steelers or something like that. So it is what it is. You know, he put a yellow heart up there. So I'm like, it could be Steelers. It could be Green Bay. But wouldn't it be a green one? Unless it's the color of cheese, I guess. Anyway, let's move on. What is the oh yeah, so the same thing that you said, Spinny, I got the same thought. We do have to right that wrong. The last time they came in on Thanksgiving, they beat us. So we got to get them out of here with our own dub this time, eating the turducken while they cry in the locker room with Matt LaFleur. Maybe we should name him Matt Lede, you know, because they're the same guy. All right. Easy, what you got?
Give me the Lions. Matt LaFleur, another one of Dan Campbell's sons. They get bullied once more.
I think soon you're going to have to jump off the Jordan Love hype train because you got us sweeping him again. If he's that dude, he got to be able to beat us once, right?
Is Matthew Stafford good?
Yeah, he's all right.
How'd he do on a bad team?
So you're going to compare the Green Bay Packers to the Lions of yesteryear?
I would even say the Lions of yesteryear were better.
Are we really?
Yeah, the Dominican Sue, Calvin Johnson, Dave Burleson, Golden Tate.
But you consider that to be a bad team?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can't overcome certain things.
Yeah.
Like it's a team game. It's not, you know, because you're like an individual player can still be good. It don't mean nothing. That it literally means, like another example of it. I guess I point to is Sam Darnold last year too. Let me finish talking. You got Sam Darnold. You see him go to a good situation and win some game. Like you could be a good individual player and be on a not so great team. And the Lions also happen to be a great team. Why would I pick them to beat my Lions?
We lost in 2015. We lost in 2015 because Matthew Stafford had a game-winning drive and turned the football over 2 times on the same damn drive. That's why we lost in 2015. It wasn't because our team was bad. What do you think, Spinny? Come on now. I see you over there. Your mic is muted.
I don't love Jordan Love. I don't think he's a great player. I don't think he's bad though, but no, I think he's a guy.
Mm-hmm. I meant the Matthew Stafford thing.
Oh,
we saying Matthew Stafford lost because it was a bad team.
So we got the new Lions schedule. Why are we talking about Stafford? We got the Lions schedule to talk about.
Because Easy brought it up. All right. Yeah. So we all got the Lions winning on Thanksgiving. What is the next game?
Next game you got at home again. I believe at home. Yeah, at home again against the Dallas Cowboys. I got this. Easy claps again. Cowboys are a joke. They added George Pickens, so now they're going to be they get out of here. We're going to take care of the Cowboys. Again, I know this is weird for me to say before every game on this schedule, but another get-back opportunity for Aiden Hutchinson. Like, this is the game that he was injured in last year. This is the game that took him out, and I think that's, like I said, this team does that a lot. Whether you look at the coaches or the players, they find something about a game, they find something about a matchup to give themselves that extra motivation or to give themselves some more urge to go out there. So I think Hutch has a big one in the comeback, and I think they win this one against the Cowboys.
Easy, what do you think?
Yeah, Dan Campbell, master motivator, master manipulator. Similar to Sean Payton, if you hear like some of the stories they tell about each other, and Dan Campbell definitely is going to find a way to get this team fired up. I don't think it's hard to find a way to get this team fired up playing the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody hates them. They get the benefit of every single doubt. And as much as we whooped that ass last year, I just feel like we're still not done. because of what happened to us 2 years ago.
I'll just add in that they don't have a coach. Who is this guy? Is it
Brian
Schottenheimer?
Yeah, Schottenheimer. He's a
Okay,
placeholder for sure.
right.
I heard
So
they hired
while
that
he's
Davion
holding
Wicks to coach.
They just might. If I'm hearing he's off the Packers, so once he's off the Packers, where else is he going to go? He's going to go directly into coaching.
Coach the Cowboys.
Hey, he might have something Jerry likes. You know, you never know. Jerry likes certain things about his players.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Pause.
Same color as cheese. Whatever you said. That was great.
Yeah, they don't have a coach. I don't think Brian Schottenheimer is the guy to get the most out of the very strong personalities in CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. So I feel like what's going to happen is the Detroit Lions are going to beat the brakes off to the Dallas Cowboys. I think we're going to embarrass them again. And as you said, 2 years ago, they stole that game from us. And it's just still a sour taste in our mouth. So we're going to hit up the Listerine one more again.
Yeah,
My score prediction is Detroit Lions a lot, Dallas Cowboys a little bit.
Next up on the schedule, we got at Los Angeles facing the Rams. I'm looking at this here, and this is one that could get you. This is one that could get you. You're going, obviously the West Coast trip. I'd have to see the Rams schedule before I put a lot of weight into that. Like if they were playing at home or on the West Coast the week before, I think that would give them even more of an advantage. But I think you take care of it. I hate having this team with 14 or 13 wins even after such a tough schedule. But like on the road at the Rams are a tough team. The Rams are a good team. The Rams have a lot of good young pieces. The Lions are better. The Lions are going to win this game. I'm not going to sit here and be – could they lose? Yes, this is a very losable game. If you pick the Rams to win, I'm not going to be mad at you. But looking at it, I got to take the Lions, even with the week trip across, obviously, the country.
So Matthew Stafford's dumb face is on my television right now. And the game before Detroit, they have Arizona.
Okay.
That's going to be a divisional game. So that's going to be a tough, hard-fought one. Also, the Los Angeles Rams don't have a home field advantage. They don't have real fans. Give me the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
on the road in LA. Give them to me.
As much as I respect Matthew Stafford to be a danger and a threat at any given moment, it was a tough out for him last time. It's kind of deep into the season. He's been getting banged up lately. I don't even know if he's going to be the starting quarterback for this game. It sounds bad to say it and speak on injury and stuff like that, but I mean, it's just the reality of the situation he's had lately. He's damn near 40 years old. So I'm going to go Detroit Lions.
The next game on the Lions schedule, you have back home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, obviously we know the Steelers, always a tough team, always a playoff caliber team under Mike Tomlin. New faces, new places, no George Pickens, bring in DK Metcalf. Looking like Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be their quarterback, and if he does, and if he's even alive by this point of the schedule, I would definitely take the Lions to win this game if Aaron Rodgers is the starter, because Kirby Joseph would have 5 interceptions. But Lions beating the Steelers. I don't know what the Steelers are doing right now. I think this might be the year that they don't make the playoffs and don't have a winning record under Mike Tomlin. I don't like what they got going around right now, but give me the Lions to win this one at home against the Steelers.
The Steelers, the Giants got 4 quarterbacks. The Cleveland Browns got 5 of them, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have Mason Rudolph, and they drafted Will Howard.
Old faithful.
Yeah. So Y'all saw what we did to Mason Rudolph the last time we played him. We put up 50 on him. I don't think we're gonna put up 50 on the Steelers. But with Mason Rudolph, they're still playing the same ugly brand of football, of offense that they've been playing since Ben Roethlisberger's last 2-3 years of his career. So, yeah, I'm not afraid of the Steelers.
Yes!
I'm not afraid of the Lions either.
Yes!
The Tigers
walking off. Justin Henry Malloy single up the middle, scores Andy Ibanez, who got the third on a throwing error after stealing second. Malloy takes one of Aroldis Chapman's pitches, puts it right up the middle. Tigers win 6-5.
On Chapman too?
Yeah, off Chapman.
Nice.
There's 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, man on third. Malloy got it through.
Good, man. I feel like we haven't heard much out of him in a minute. Like,
He's been struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
I called it. You know what I'm saying?
True. That was where Dontavion Wicks went. He was actually thrown out of the Red Sox pen.
I'm not gonna let this one down, am I?
You beat me to it, Steelers
on the Red
Squealers.
Sox, back-to-back walk-off wins.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, Easy.
Steelers, Squealers, Booby Feelers, Lions by 1,000,000.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that last one though. Booby Feelers.
I'm not picking the Lions to lose to a team that doesn't have a quarterback. Like, your best option is going to be Aaron Rodgers. If not, you're going to get Jameis Winston or somebody like that. Lions will take care of business. Yeah. Next game, Week 17 on Christmas Day against the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, the Detroit Lions will be playing on Thanksgiving and on Christmas. This will be a Netflix game, so I know everybody hates the streaming services, but everybody's got Netflix, so you don't got to worry about that. Again, you know, what killed the Vikings? Christianity killed the Vikings. Christian holiday, Lions beating the Vikings on Christmas. It makes sense. Give me the Lions. Like, those connect in my mind. Give me the Lions winning this one. The Vikings are fraudulent. I think the Vikings are going to be what they were last year, but without the super high upside. Like, they might finish second in this division again, be based on schedule and based on Kevin O'Connell, but they're not going to win the big games. They're not going to beat the teams better than them. The Lions have the recipe to beat the Vikings. It doesn't matter if you got Sam Darnold, Terrion Arnold, J.J. McCarthy, or whoever, Paul McCartney playing quarterback. The Detroit Lions know how to beat Kevin O'Connell and beat that system. They're going to do it again. They sweep the Vikings again. They win on Christmas Day.
All right. I just want to mention, shout out, this show that they got going on, the schedule reveal show, is crazy. They got Matthew Stafford up here, and they're going through telling him why they're going to lose to certain teams. He's telling him to his face, like, you're going to lose to this team.
That's crazy.
All right, they are coming to the Lions, so we'll keep an eye on what he says about that. We'll look at his face. Hold on, they're about to do it. They got Arizona up there right now. They're giving them a L, I think. Yeah, they gave him an L. All right. Oh, they gave him the dub for the Lions. And
they have them beating the Lions? The Rams beating the Lions?
No, they gave the Lions. They gave the Lions a dub, and his face was just like. Like, he had this big smile on his face. Now it has shrunk quite a bit. All right, the Minnesota Vikings, again, like I said, it's the same situation. I'm gonna keep picking the Detroit Lions to sweep the division. I generally don't do that, but we've shown that we are the class of the division. Now, anything can go either way, but the Minnesota Vikings, like you said, Spinny, we haven't lost to them in 3 years. I think in the last 9 games against them, we're 8-1. So yeah, I'm not gonna pick the Vikings. Give me the Lions. And it doesn't have to be particularly close either. We don't know what JJ McCarthy is going to look like. I think the last time we played him, we beat him 31-9. Right?
Yep.
Was that in Minnesota or Detroit? It was in Minnesota, right?
That was in Detroit.
Oh, that was in Detroit. Okay.
4 touchdown game, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm not worried about them.
I agree.
But Gibbs who stole Christmas. That's all I gotta say. I was a troll.
Gibbs who stole Christmas. I love it. And that brings us down to the final game of the year, the season finale in Chicago, in the hallowed ground of Soldier Field, in the frozen, icy, windy vortex of Chicago against the Bears. Last game of the season. Give me the Lions. What, you expect me to say Jared Goff can't play outside in Soldier Field in the snow, but Caleb Williams can? Forget that. Lions are going to win. Lions are going to take care of business. Hey, welcome to the NFC North for real now, Ben. Here's 2 losses for you. Lions sweep. Lions crush the hopes of the Chicago Bears to make the playoffs in the final game of the season. I think the Bears finished 3rd in this division, and I think the loss in the last week to the Lions keeps them out of the playoffs. Sorry, Ben. Have fun. Lions taking this one.
See, I'm gonna look at it a little bit differently than you are. I'm not picking the Bears to win. Okay. But as corny as Ben is, and we don't know if he is a leader of men. You remember what people were saying about Fatty Matty Patty in the Detroit Lions locker room? You're not Bill Belichick. So if he's going to go over there and he's going to try to do it the Dan Campbell way.
What the hell?
What the heliante?
What the heliante? Yeah.
That was my
DoorDash
doorbell, which sometimes rings by itself. I don't even know if anyone's actually at the
Ghost.
door. Yeah.
So go to
Yeah, bro.
the
What is Dontavian Wicks doing at my house right now?
it's Marcus Davenport and Dontavian Wicks.
It definitely probably is Marcus Davenport. Like you said, he might come looking for me.
That's why Easy's been off the camera this whole time. Marcus Davenport actually hired Easy to hack your IP address through this call, so he's sending him to your house.
Okay.
To be honest, Chef is like an internet guru. He saved me on Bitcoin.
Probably got firewalls on firewalls.
Shout out. You know I do what I do. But yeah, the team might not even be playing. They might not even be playing for the playoffs. The team might have already quit on Ben Johnson by that point. We'll see. But it's possible.
I thought you were going to say something about the Bears.
But I do think the Detroit Lions will be beating them. It doesn't matter if we play them in Chicago. Doesn't matter if we play them in Detroit. It doesn't matter if we play them on the island of Oahu. I got the Detroit Lions winning that game.
What do you got, Easy? Final week of the season. Why you got the collar popped, dog?
Yo, I just hopped out 2004, bro. The Bears are still ass. Actually, I think they went to like the Super Bowl.
I think they,
yeah.
Is that the Super Bowl that lost
Yeah, I
to
think
Peyton
Rex
Manning?
Grossman. Yeah, maybe, probably. Picked the wrong year. Yeah, give me the Lions.
I'm gonna tell you. Hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all something about that Super
better.
Bowl. That is the only Super Bowl I ever fell asleep on. All right,
I
continue.
fell asleep during that Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. That was garbage.
Whoa!
Did you?
Jared Goff was playing though, dude. What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, you can't say that.
That was
Can't
the
say
worst
that.
Super Bowl I've ever seen.
All
Dude,
right.
think about it, Tom Brady really beat both goats, Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff.
That is true.
There you go.
But okay, to put a bow on this. Whoa,
My
whoa,
bad.
Copernicus. To put a bow on this, to put a bow on the Lions' schedule here, I do. Yes, I have them at 13 or 14 wins this year. Call me crazy, call me slappy, call me whatever you want. When you line up this schedule, when you look at it on paper, it's not this big, bad, landmine-filled schedule that we thought it was going to be, because I think the home schedule is relatively easy. Now, the road schedule is very hard, and that's why I have your losses to Philadelphia and to Kansas City and to Baltimore, but I think the Lions are going to take care of business. I think they win 13, 14 games again, and I think they're in the contention for the number 1 seed in the NFC. This team is too good. They're going to be healthier than they were last year, and I think they're going to go out there and take care of business with this schedule. Give me the Lions to win 13 games and take care of business next year.
I think I have them at 15-2 again, bro.
Slap ass!
I got them losing to the Ravens and the Eagles.
Yeah.
The bird teams.
My man had 15 wins. He's trying to talk us into the Browns beating us. What the hell?
I was not. It was a scenario where it could happen, and I still picked the Lions, so that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
An alternate Earth 626.
I got them at 15-2. I wanted to put them at, I think 15-2, 14-3 last season, but I was like, let me find 4 losses for them. It was hard to do, and you see, we lost only 2. I think with the health available, again, I don't know what we're gonna do on the opposite side of Hutch. What is it with the hammer?
I don't know. It was over here.
Oh,
I do believe, 15-2 is attainable. There are reasons that we could lose to these elite quarterbacks, and there are reasons that we could win, especially with Patrick Mahomes. We beaten him before. We beat him at his house. So, yeah, I think I'm comfortable with 15-2. I think after training camp and we see what happens with injuries from other teams, and we see how stuff starts to kind of go as the season goes, I might change some of these to losses, and I might change a couple of the losses to wins. So we never know. But my official way too early prediction, as the schedule has been released, is 15-2 for the Detroit Lions.
Spinny, how hard is it that AJ said, if you want to be part of the Tigers culture, then come, and if you don't, we'll beat you. And then he goes on to sweep Alex Bregman.
And he's having a great series. Like, Alex Bregman's having a great series, but it's like, you're not good enough to beat the Tigers, bud. Sorry.
Did they beat them 3 games?
Yep.
Yeah, they swept them.
Oh, okay. Wow.
2 walk-offs, too.
2 walk-offs. And real quick, just a little nuance in this schedule. I got to get out of here pretty soon, but a little nuance in this schedule that I like and that I think will help the Lions down the stretch is after you have that road trip in the NFC East, two tough NFC East opponents in a row on the road with Washington and with Philadelphia, you are back home for 3 games in a row, and it's New York, Green Bay, and Dallas. Those are 3 extremely winnable games, 3 of the weakest opponents that you're going to see this year, and 3 teams that you should all beat, all of them at home in a row, and then you go on to wrap your season against, obviously, the last 4 remaining. But I think that 3-week stretch of weeks 12, 13, and 14 against the New York Giants, Green Bay Packers, and then Dallas Cowboys is going to be huge for the Detroit Lions, especially coming off of those 2 weeks in a row at Washington and then at Philly. You get to stay home for a couple weeks, see some easier competition, hopefully rack off 3 wins in a row, and then go to close your schedule down the stretch. I think that 3-week group in the second half of the season is going to be really important for this team.
Facts. Before you go, Spinny, I'll take 2 minutes of your time in the back and tell you what we were talking about earlier. Nah, pause. No Diddy. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining us. I am Motor City Don P. That is Spinny, and that guy whose picture you see there, who had the collar popped open and everything, that is Easy. For everyone at LNU, for the Woodward Heavyweights, for Motor City Cats. I'm Don P. The Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.
Peace.